Hello and welcome to the IELTS multi-step program. Today we're going to be shooting a reaction video in response to a practice test that was shot by an Indian test taker and an examiner. This test taker was lucky to land a band 6.5, and we're going to watch together why this person landed at this particular band, and we're also going to review the pitfalls that this person made so that you can avoid them, and also share strategies on how to improve your performance in comparison to what she did. Before we begin, I'd like to review the assessment criteria for the speaking test, as this is what we will be using to review what she's done throughout the whole video. The first and most important criteria for the speaking test, is fluency and coherence. And what does this mean? This simply means, do you speak in a fluent way that is easy to understand, and do you link your ideas together clearly? For lexical resource, which is the second important criteria through which the speaking test is assessed, this simply means, can you accurately use or attempt to use a wide range of vocabulary accurately and effectively? Can you explain your ideas even if you do not know a particular word? This is a very important one for me. There's a lot of test takers give up when you're trying to use a word and they cannot remember it. Can you still go ahead and explain what you mean even if you can't find that exact word? It will give you scores. It will give you additional points in the IELTS. And finally, can you use or attempt to use higher level vocabulary accurately? The next criteria is grammatical range and accuracy. Can you use a wide range of grammatical structures rather than repeating basic structures? Are your sentences accurate, or do you often make grammatical mistakes? And finally, pronunciation. Is your spoken language clear and easily understood? Do you use stress and intonation to add extra meaning? And with individual words, do you use stress accurately? All these are the things that the examiner considers when they are assessing your communicative competence in the speaking test. So please ensure that you take note of these things, as we will be using that to assess our performance and also review the mistakes and the pitfalls that we can avoid making in the IELTS test for ourselves. So let's get right into this video.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Feeling comfortable?
Yes, sir.
All right, let me start your test today. Good afternoon, I'm your examiner today. My name is RB. Could you tell me your full name, please?
My full name is Paramjit Kaur.
Okay, Paramjit. Can I see your ID, please?
Yes, here it is.
Let me have a look.
Call.
Thank you, here it is. So, what's the most popular means of transportation in your hometown?
Well, without a doubt, I reckon motorbike, because everyone has their own bike. The most prominent reason why I think motorbike, because of their reasonable price and convenient to use. Plus, there is a wide variety of size, quality, and choices are available for everyone.
Wow. So to begin with, the pronunciation is a big turn-off for me. It is affecting the communicative process for me. I have to strain my ears to understand exactly what she's saying, and I think that even though this is colored by our cultural preferences, the test taker is Indian and the examiner is Indian, so I'm probably sure that he wouldn't struggle as much as I am doing to understand what she's saying. But you see, you need to understand that the IELTS is an international test. So the standards are international. You should, as much as possible, aspire to give your responses in this format, and you should aspire to meet up with this international standard if you intend to do well in the IELTS. Speaking with a regional or localized accent can have a negative effect on your performance, and for me, this is a no-no for me.
Even in the market.
Okay, how often do you take buses?
Well, almost every day, because I'm a student, so I have to travel from my house to a university. So buses is in my budget, that's why I take it.
That's a very good response. And buses are within my budget, not buses is within my budget. So you can see where the errors start coming from here. That's an error that has to do with number, and it's a grammatical error. Buses is a wrong expression. Buses are is the right expression. But I like the collocation. Buses are within my budget. Within my budget is a collocation that actually proves that she is quite competent in using native-like expressions in English language. And that would give her a good response. That would give her a good band. I also like the format with which she answered the question. And my format is always this. In the IELTS, give your direct answer first and then explain after. Or preferably give a direct answer, give a reason for your answer, and then give an example to illustrate that answer. And that is what she did. And the question was that, what is your preferred mode of transport? And she said, buses. And this is because I'm a student and buses are within my budget. Very good response.
Okay, can you compare the advantages of planes and trains?
Plane and trains regularly depart and arrive on time. However, traveling by planes are saving time and enjoyable in terms of
traveling by plane are an enjoyable time. No. It's an enjoyable experience, it's a pleasurable experience, it's a better expression there.
Meal and comfortable seats, while traveling by train is offer you a chance to see the world in sitting your seat.
Traveling by train offers you a chance to see the beautiful world. No, beautiful scenery, revealing nature, beautiful plants, flora and fauna around you, beautiful environments, all other expressions except beautiful world. So I can actually see why this young lady here landed at a band 6.5, even though she seems to not be so bad. There are still some huge gaps in her communicative competence that would actually mandate that she gets 6.5. And I suspect that the more we watch this video, we might even review our assessment of it, and she might drop to a band 6. But let's not judge now.
Great experience for everyone.
Okay, is driving to work popular in your country?
Yes, definitely. Because people are busy as bees, they have no time to wait as public transportation. Plus, driving is also comfortable in unpredictable weather, so that's why they prefer to drive.
Driving is also comfortable and predictable. Predictable wouldn't have been the word of choice for me there. I am still struggling to understand what she means. It's not as if it's completely wrong, but you see, avoid ambiguous words. So predictable could have a wide range of meanings there, as opposed to comfortable, which is just very straightforward. So please avoid words that leave you open to so many meanings. Use words that say exactly what you mean to say.
Okay, do you think people will drive more in the future?
As we all know, future is unpredictable, so I could not say specific about it, but I think people will not drive more because the rate of petrol and diesel will be high, so that they cannot afford that things on daily basis.
Like I always say, at the beginning of the IELTS multi-step program, I always say this, and I'm going to stress it again. In the IELTS, the quality of expression is what is assessed, not the quality of your ideas. So the quality of your ideas is not our business, it is the quality of expression. If you listen to this young lady here, her ideas are quite solid and they are quite very good, intelligent, complex ideas even, to say, if I dare say so. But does she express them well? No, she doesn't. Does she express them to the best of her abilities? Maybe. Does she express them in the most convincing and effective manner? No, she doesn't. And that is where the problem is. That is where the challenge is. It is not that your ideas are so out of this world or mind-blowing. It is that you express them in a much more convincing, or in the most convincing manner that you can.
Okay, and would you ride bikes to work in the future?
Frankly speaking, I am afraid of riding a bike in a main street and highway, so it is impossible for me to ride a bike. Instead of riding a bike, I prefer to go by buses.
I like that. That's a very good. I like the way she started saying, frankly speaking. You see, these are connectives that help you to link what you're saying, also help you, and they also signpost to the examiner that you actually have a much stronger or a weak perspective towards what you're going to say. Frankly speaking, is a very good way to start that response. I like that. But I also like the fact that as she went on, she was able to actually express herself clearly. The only problem that I had there was that the question was a question that was leading to an answer that required her to use the future tense, because the question was about, will you ride bicycles to work in the future? And she said, frankly speaking, I am scared of riding bikes and all that. In the future, I will. So instead of saying in the future, it will be impossible for me, she said, it is impossible, and I take bus. Instead of saying that it will be impossible for me and I will take buses. So the will there, the verb showing that this is still happening in the future, this will happen in the future, wasn't present there.
Okay, and what will become the most popular means of transport in your country?
Without a doubt, I think buses, because people will be aware about the environment, and they should leave to less drive in future, as well as the buses will be remain cheapest mode of the transport. That's why buses will more.
Okay, this is time to give you cue card.
Yes.
And your topic for cue card is describe a piece of technology you like
Part
using.
two.
And there are some questions like, what is it, how did you learn about it, how often do you use it, and explain why you like it. So this is your topic. Okay, your time's up. Start, please.
Well, technology all around us. We cannot imagine our life without technology.
I like that. She started a response with a hook. A lot of test takers miss that opportunity. A hook allows you to start on a confident and a strong note. The question was about a piece of technology that she has used or that is really significant for her. And she said, well, technology is all around us and we cannot live or survive without technology. That's a very brilliant way to get into the context of what she's going to talk about, of what she's going to talk about. So this is something that I would suggest that you take advantage of. Always start with a hook, or better still, if you do not have a hook, or you cannot come up with a hook in such a short period, start with an introductory statement. Well, now I'm going to be talking about a piece of technology that I normally use or that is significant for me. That is also a very good way to start your speaking part 2 response.
I have several technologies such as washing machine, television.
We have several technologies such as washing machine. She didn't even take the chance, she didn't even take the stress of making it technologies. And also, would that even be correct? We have several technologies such as washing machines and phones? No. So it would be we have several technological items, or we have several technological devices such as, or we have several inventions, or a lot of other expressions that she could have used apart from we have several technology.
Tab, so on. But here I would like to talk about my favorite technology, that is my mobile phone.
So she kept on making that same mistake consistently. I'd like to talk about my favorite technology, which is my mobile phone. Your mobile phone is not your favorite technology. It will be your favorite technological device or technological item.
Well, it was a present from my parents to me on complete.
It was present from my parents to me. It was a present from my parents to me. It's becoming increasingly clear that the omission of articles, either the definite article the, the, or the indefinite article a or an, is one of the most significant challenges that a lot of non-native test takers have with the English language, especially in the speaking part. I discovered that Africans and usually Asians to a certain extent share this peculiarity. So it's something that you as a non-native test taker should probably avoid or prepare yourself for. Be intentional about using articles for your speaking test. If this was a writing test and you wrote a paragraph where you omitted the article the or a in like 7 or 8 words in one paragraph, your paragraph will look like grammatical disaster. It will be very obvious. So also, you should also apply this same strategy to your speaking. The reason why a lot of people get away with omitting articles in speaking is because it flows, and usually we do not put so much grammatical scrutiny on what we say as opposed to what we write. But this is a speaking test, and its IELTS test is an international examination. So as much as possible, do not assume that these things will be overlooked in the IELTS.
In my graduation 1 year ago, it was latest Android phone with the Cools app and function, but unfortunately no one gave me proper instruction how to use it, so I got difficult.
I like that. Unfortunately, no one gave me proper instruction. She's quite good at using signposting. Signposting simply means using words that imply or that infer the meaning that comes after them. She said, frankly speaking, obviously, what does that tell the examiner? It tells the examiner that this is a very strong opinion that she holds. This is a very deep conviction that she holds. Unfortunately, there obviously tells you that the information that would come after is the opposite or is in contrast to what she said before. And this is in response to the prompt where she was asked that, how did you learn how to use it? And by saying, unfortunately, the examiner can actually predict or can actually get that everything that would come after in that particular space would be negative. Very good.
While using it, then my friend suggested me you should learn from them.
Then my friend suggested to me or suggested, okay? Not suggested me.
And from YouTube, then I started watching video on YouTube. Now
I started watching videos on YouTube. Singular, plural, number is very important in the IELTS. Please do not make the mistake of omitting or using the wrong number expression for a singular or a plural item in the IELTS. It will count against you.
Moreover, as we all know, more use of these things is harmful for eyes, so I do not use more than 3 hours in a day. There are few reasons why I like this. The first and foremost reason is I have no need to hold dictionary. If I come across a difficult word, then I look up in my smartphone.
So she wanted to use a particular expression, look up a word, and I think she didn't pull it off really well. Collocations are important. Using them make you project you as a natural user of the language. But if you're going to use them, please ensure that you know the appropriate way to use them.
On the top of that, if I can call for my kith and kin, I can call easily. Furthermore,
that's a very good expression also, kith and kin. She seems to have those expressions up her sleeve, but it's just, how would I say it, a mode of delivery that isn't making it so obvious for us that she's using quite, or she's attempting to use higher level vocabulary.
Or it is also when I'm thinking to shopping, then I prefer to shopping by online market instead.
I prefer to shopping by online market. I prefer to shopping by online market. Nowhere in the world would that be an agreeable or acceptable expression for the IELTS.
Of go to market, at last it is also beneficial for me.
Have you ever had that situation where you are talking and you use the right expression and then you correct yourself because you think you've made a mistake and then you end up using the wrong one? You just happen to err. You just happen to err. Do not, as much as it is okay to review what you're going to say. Sometimes second guessing yourself might prove to be detrimental rather than being productive.
For me, change my mood. Whenever I feel sad, then I started to see funny video on Instagram.
Whenever I feel sad, then I started to see funny videos on Instagram. Very, very, very confusing statement. Whenever I feel sad, then I started to see. Very confusing and ambiguous expression. I can see why she landed at band 6. And like I mentioned earlier, the more we watch this video, the easier it is for us to even push her down towards a band 6 instead of a 6.5, sorry.
Okay, can I take it back, please?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Let me ask you some more questions.
Yes, sir.
What is the most common technology used by people in your country?
Certainly, it is a mobile phone. It is commonly used in my country because of several reasons. Because it is easy tool to talk with people who are residing far away from us. Moreover, it is also beneficial for commercial activities such as transferring payment and paying bills.
She's tense, under so much pressure, mental pressure that she's put herself under, and it's affecting her delivery. You can see that at odd times she keeps on swallowing spit, or she keeps on swallowing her words, because it looks as if she's panting to actually deliver what she's saying. And this is not a situation that you want to find yourself in the IELTS. As much as possible, like I mentioned in the previous videos on the IELTS multi-step program on this channel that you watch, I always say that for the speaking test, please find your happy place. Your happy place is that zone where you're comfortable, where you're relaxed enough to churn out what you want to say in the most relaxed and easily accessible way possible.
Okay, are there any other places that need technology?
If I talk about a place who need technology, that is Jordi Mountain, because
If I talk about a place who needs, a place is not a who. It is a place that needs, a place which needs. And why start with if I talk about a place? Why the conditional there? That is a very ambiguous statement. Definitely a band 6, not a band 6.5.
both they have no telegram, clock and internet facility. That's why I think that place need technology.
That place,
Okay, that is possible to-
that place need a technology. That's why I think that place needs technology, not that place need a technology. Two errors.
Without technology?
Technology makes an integral part of our life. We all depend on it.
Technology is an integral part of our lives, not technology makes an integral part of our life.
Individual influence all aspects of it, so it is very difficult to live without it.
Okay, what are the advantages of technology?
There are many advantages of technology, such as we can talk with our, if I talk about a mobile phone, we can easily talk with our friends, and it is also beneficial to carry because it is very small, we can pick in our pocket. Moreover, it is also beneficial for our study purpose, because there are several videos of expert teacher will be there.
Okay, can you tell me some disadvantages of technology actually?
Yes, there are many disadvantages of there. We people all depend on it. They become lazy and lethargic, and moreover
like that.
they
The attempts to use higher level vocabulary, they become lazy and lethargic. Very good, very good. And I like the fact that that was used correctly and in the right context.
they become less creative, and they never think of anything without technology.
Okay, so what is the impact of technology on people's life?
Technology affect the way of communication, learning, and thinking of the individuals. Moreover, it is beneficial for us to make social interact with people, and it furthermore it is also beneficial to talk with people who are residing far away from us.
The word beneficial there has been murdered and killed so many times in that response. She ends up using it in the wrong context. It is beneficial to, it is beneficial, it is beneficial to, it is beneficial to, it is beneficial into. I thought it was supposed to be it's beneficial for. It has advantages for, and I was waiting for her to use synonyms there, but she kept on sticking to beneficial, which ended up being more of a problem for her than a plus.
Okay, a last question for today, and that is, how do you think modern technology will change the way people work in the future?
Yes, definitely. Modern technology changed the way of people work, because nowadays, due to the pandemic, many colleges and schools allowed their children to online classes. Due to the advancement of technology, we can easily continue our study. In future, there will be more faster and effective will be, so it is take the place of it will take the place of individual easily.
Okay,
This is a huge challenge that I noticed a lot in the IELTS test. The question was, how do you think technology will change the way people work in the future? And she didn't answer that. What she did was talking about just technology generally. How do you think it will change? Give a direct answer first. Oh, I think it will change the way people learn. For example, during the pandemic, a lot of schools and colleges and universities had to switch to online learning. That would have been a much more perfect structure for that answer, as opposed to giving an example first before, or giving an explanation first before you give a direct answer.
this is the end of your speaking test. Thank you so much.
So that is the end of that speaking test, and frankly, I would say that I've been everywhere while watching that video. It took me to some really high points, it took me to some really low points, and there were some places where they were just still. Basically, I would say that she deserves a band 6 and not a band 6.5, although there's a very how do I say it, visible attempt to use higher level vocabulary, which she pulls off in a lot of places. The number of grammatical errors and number of lexical errors that affect meaning and affect the whole communication process are too much to be overlooked, and I think that a band 6 would be a perfect score for this particular test taker or candidate. Please watch this video, pause it at odd intervals, rewind, and do whatever you need to do to be able to pick up the strategies and tips that would ensure that you pass the IELTS and you avoid the pitfalls that she made or that she fell into during the course of this speaking test. Once again, the IELTS multi-step program is designed to take you from where you are to where you need to be. So watch, practice, like, and subscribe to our channel.